So to kick off the assembly of the wheels, there's probably many different ways of doing it, but I chose to just measure the drawing. So you've got 126mm diameter, 63mm from the center. So I use these measurements from the plans that came with the kit just to get some dimensions for the wheel diameter. So I just translated these measurements onto a piece of paper using a compass, just to keep the wheels as centric as possible when gluing them up. And just using a hobby knife just to cut the little tags for the Felloes. Didn't need to put a great deal of pressure, just gently slicing through each tag so that they come out of the sprue a lot cleaner. Just do both sides. And once I manage to get them all out, we'll just line them up on top of the template, just to see how everything lines up for dimension. A little bit fiddly, this kept bumping it and moving it. Need about 6 pairs of hands. So I just used CA Zapper Cap thick to glue the Felloes together, and zip kicker just to kick it off a little bit quicker. And so I was happy with that, was just checking that it's flat, and then off we go and do the rest of the wheels, the other 3. So we're going to kick off now. We're going to sand all the edges. So I use some sanding disc, 150 grit, to get most of the perimeter and the edges and the inside edges and the whole wheel flat level. Just slowly rotating it and gently rubbing it across the sandpaper to get it flat. Took a very long time, and trying to hold it vertical to keep the bottom of the outside diameter of the wheel square with the edges. And just turning it around periodically so that in case I was favouring one side as I was sanding. Then once I'd finished with the 150 grit, I then moved to the 320 grit and just continued to get it nice and smooth and level. So once I'd finished the outsides of the rims, I went and had to focus sanding smooth the internal dimension, just getting any glue edges, and I just tried a couple different things, but I came up with this option of putting one rim on the non-sand side of a round stick and then gently dragging the sandpapered end of the stick of the dowel over the glue edges or the glue joints and just around the inside of the entire rim, because there's the cut off sprue marks and whatnot. You had to really get into it. It took a long time to do. Really started to feel a hand cramp after a little while, but trying to do this without power tools and retaining the detail and the fidelity of the kit was my main focus. So then I progressed to this 600 grit foam back sanding blocks to sand the fine detail on all the models. As you were sanding with this foam back paper, you could actually hear or feel and hear the tone of the sanding change as you came around the model, or the wheel in this case, and you got that nice fine finish to it. Alright, well that's one down, 3 to go. Just keep progressing, doing the same over and over and over again until we get the wheels finished. Well, that's it really. That was all pretty exhausting doing all of those. So all 4 are done. So next up we'll be creating the spokes and cutting the spokes down and gluing the spokes and rims together and completing the wheels. So that's up next.